Hi everyone, it's Jamia. Today I want to talk to you guys about the basics of starting a healthy nutrition routine because I get that question a lot, like, hey, I want to be better, what do I do now? So I'm just going to tell you guys about the first steps I give to all my clients, and hopefully that can help you guys out. First thing I always tell people is water intake. It's so important, it's so underrated, and it can take care of so many symptoms that you have that you don't even realize. So the goal is always half your body weight in ounces. So an easy example, because I'm bad at math on the spot. If you weigh 200 pounds, your goal is 100 ounces of water per day. And then on top of that, if you have coffee, if you have alcohol, if you exercise, you need more water on top of that goal. So for alcohol and coffee, it's cup for cup. However much coffee you had, have that much extra water. Same with alcohol. And then for exercise, for every half an hour of vigorous activity, add 8 ounces of water. So that's a lot of water for a lot of people. But definitely take it slow. You don't want to all of a sudden one day go from like a bottle of water a day to like 100 ounces. So gradually increase it. Keep track of your water intake because you always assume you did better than you really did. And so do I. So yes, definitely keep track. And that's the next thing I'm going to talk about is food logging. Now, that is so boring and so annoying to so many people, but I want to make it clear that the food logging is not for calorie counting. So it's awesome to use something like MyFitnessPal, or I used to use the Carrot and then they went out of business and it made me sad. But there's lots of apps out there on your phone that you can keep track of, but the goal is not to count calories. The goal is just to see what you eat every day because we don't always remember. We think we did pretty good and then it turns out you had like way more sugar and junk food than you realized. So all those sodas definitely add up quickly. So a huge, easy thing to do that will help a lot is to just start writing down what you eat. And do it as you eat because you're never going to remember at the end of the day everything you ate, and especially not the next day. That will not happen. So just as you eat something, write it down, put it in your phone, whatever's easiest for you. And then at the end of the day or the end of the week, however often you like to do it, just go through and depending on what your nutrition goals are, start circling the stuff, or do whatever you want to do. You can use a highlighter, you can do little stars and shapes or whatever, but the whole main goal is to be able to look at what you ate and mark down what was good, what was bad, what needs improving, so that you can kind of look at it and get an overall sense of how well you did. So like if I highlight all the good stuff in yellow and highlight all the bad stuff in red, I can easily see, is my page mostly yellow or is it mostly red? And that gives you a really easy visual of how you're doing. So for the next two basics, I like to recommend a good whole food multivitamin and a good quality fish oil. So now first with the multivitamin, this is kind of difficult for some people as far as why do I need to spend more money on some stupid multivitamin when I can go to CVS and pay like $10 for, I'm just for safety, I'm not going to say brand names, but the one that you take once every day. Wonder which one that could be. Anyways, it's because your body isn't getting anything out of it. So you're not saving money or wasting money by spending money on a vitamin that you are getting 0 vitamins from. Now you look on the label, it says all the stuff that's in there, and it is in there. They're not lying about that part, but your body's not absorbing any of it because it's all fake. It's all made in a laboratory, it's synthetic, and it's not from nature, so your body doesn't recognize it as something that it should absorb and assimilate. So what that means is you pay money for this cheap vitamin, you take it, and it all comes out in your neon-colored pee later that day. So it's so worth it to spend the extra money, get a good quality whole food vitamin. When it's whole food vitamin, that means that the vitamins are sourced from whole foods, which your body recognizes and can use. And that way you're actually going to be getting the nutrients that are in that bottle instead of it just taking a little journey down your digestive tract and coming out the other side. So for fish oil, it's the same thing. It can be kind of pricey, but it's so important that you get a good quality fish oil, or else, first of all, you could be getting rancid fish oil, which fish oil is gross enough. You don't need it rancid. And second of all, you have to worry about toxicity with mercury and everything. So it's really good to look for a cold processed fish oil because heat obviously doesn't work well with oils as far as rancidity. I don't know. You know what I mean. Anyways, so cold processed, and then it's always great to look for fish sourced like in Nordic region or Alaska, so you don't have to worry about toxins as much. I like to use, I know Nordic's a big name, it's okay, but there are a lot of like flavorings and stuff, which isn't terrible, but you always want to do the least amount of ingredients as possible. The highest concentration there is of fish oil in the little pill you're taking, the less other stuff there's going to be listed on the ingredients label. So, so far we've talked about water, we've talked about logging your food, we've talked about fish oil and your whole food vitamin. Now, the big one is, so what do you eat? Now, that's different for everybody, unfortunately. That's why I'm a nutritionist, because I want to be able to get out there and help people figure out what that answer is for every single different person. So, but the best place to start where everyone can benefit is focusing on whole foods. And what that means is food that's as close to nature as possible, food that looks like it did when it grew from the ground or on the tree. And you would think that's easy enough, but for some people it's really tough. I mean, we eat stuff and don't even think about like, where did it come? Like, there is no Cheez-It tree, you know, but you just eat a box of Cheez-Its because they're amazing and delicious and you don't really think about it. But if you look at the ingredients list, there's like this whole huge list of things that you don't even know what they are, and that's not good for your body, because if you don't know what they are, your body probably doesn't either, and so it's going, oh, this is interesting, this is not food, I'm gonna go shoot it over to my liver to be processed, and your liver gets overloaded, and all kinds of fun stuff happens. It ends up being stored in your body in funny places, and then you look weird because you've got fat stored in all kinds of fun areas. So, whole food is always best because your body knows what to do with it. It's good for you. You're going to get the nutrients from the food. You're going to benefit from the food you eat. Imagine that. And eventually, once you've accustomed yourself to eating whole foods and taken out the processed foods, it's going to taste so much better. Like, now if I had something from a package from my childhood, like, it would freak me out. I've done that a few times just with like healthy junk food that I used to get when I first went gluten-free. And it just tastes like cardboard. It tastes so fake and processed and like plastic and like flavors made in a laboratory. And it's disgusting. So that's the ultimate goal, is to get yourself so used to the good stuff that you actually want the good stuff more than the bad stuff. So that's definitely a good place to be at. So for starting off, just eat as few packaged things as possible. You want the shortest ingredients list possible, if there's an ingredients list, but the best possible thing for you to eat is stuff just like that looks like it did when it grew out of the ground. Like, vegetables are amazing. Just eat tons and tons of vegetables and you'll be awesome. So yeah, that's my video blog. I hope it's not too long because I don't watch long videos, so I don't want to make them. And I hope you had fun watching my little baby running around in the background, getting into trouble, I'm sure. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.